Oh, I better keep a record of this before I lose parts. Okay, this gear goes on the end of this rod here. And this pin, the smaller pin, goes on the end, and the bigger pin goes here. And then this end is for this. No, put those all in the same thing. And that whole thing goes through this hole into the back, with the crank out here, obviously. This just came out of here, and I'm taking out all four. There's two on the other side. Nut at the bottom, bolt at the top. Now I'm putting those in the same bucket as the other stuff. Two more bolts right under here that screw right into the housing. Wow, that back end is surprisingly heavy. I'm pretty sure that when this gear turns, this is supposed to raise and lower, but it doesn't, so I'm going to open all this up and see what's going on in there. I've got 14 of these nuts and bolts all along here and here, and then 3 shorter ones there. Basically the same, just short. Alright, they're all going in the same bowl as that other stuff. Most of these bolts are black, but there's 2 arrows right here, and the bolts beside them are silver. So, that's where those ones go. Hey, this sleeve goes right there. It's for the small gear. So this has a threaded rod that goes through this piece of stuff that goes through 2 big holes there. And it looks like that's all working right. I think the problem was just that, yeah, this screw's right. I think it was just too rusty up here in the part that you cannot see because it's shadowy. So if I sand off this rust a little, make sure this is greased up, although most of it looks really good. It should be alright. You know, I've never used the tiny wire brush wheel, at least in my memory. Maybe I did at some point. But it sure did a great job of polishing my rod here. It even comes with the special like felt polishy wheels and polishing material. But when you're polishing your rod, there is kind of a law of diminishing returns. You know, once it's done, it's done. So I think it's good. I should make a correction. Earlier I said when this turned, the thing wasn't moving. But it probably was, since this is all working. I think it was just really stiff, so it was super hard to turn the crank with the situation. Either way, I think I can just grease it all up and put it back together. So this main track here rests against 2 brass rods, plates, whatever you call them. And the one on this side has 2 bolts holding it in place so it can be tightened or loosened. So if it gets too tight, I should try that. Oh yeah. Oh, so smooth. Oh yeah, that's nice. Oh, that is much better now. Sweet. Now, what else we got over here? Sticky handles, rusty pieces. I just got the whole stupid thing back together and tested the crank, and the gear down here is turning and it's slipping on the rod that comes through here. Yep, if I get that gear to its original spot, it's loose. You know, it's tight enough that it moves the thing, but as soon as there's weight on it, it starts slipping. So, I'm thinking I'll drill, I'm thinking I'll drill a hole right through and put a pin in there. Alright, banana scrambler. Nice and careful. Alright, where is me hammer? Got the hole into the main part of the gear on this side, so it should be real strong. Alright, now if I turn this crank, that should go up. Yes! Ooh, so smooth! Wow, that's great. Very sturdy. Excellent. I greased everything up in the front here too. Cleaned everything off. Put some oil on everything. I think this thing is about as good as it's gonna get. It's crazy how much stuff this does. Like in terms of moving around. This thing, like that. Pick it up high enough, I could cut totally. Maybe not totally that way. Oh right, the sander thing is over there. Right. And it also turns the other way. Yeah. Also goes like that. So I could put a rip fence here, and you know, a little table here. I actually rip boards through that way. So it turns out, yeah, through that way. This is kind of a cool saw. Never had one before. Alright, the last thing that I ordered already for $8 or something is the arbor washers and the nut that goes on here, so I can actually put a blade on it. That should be here soon-ish. Oh, it takes